So here we go, buddy. Welcome to another edition of Game Day. I've arrived here at the Abbey Stadium as Town take on Cambridge United. A short journey up the A14 for the Blue Army. A must-win game for both sides, I'll have to say so. I want to go get the team news, so let's get right into it. Okay then, I'm joined by good old Liam from Crew. Team news has just dropped. We've just been at my dad's after a nice little breakfast and a nice little walk to the stadium. Liam, how are you feeling about today, my friend?
Well, if it's anything like the breakfast this morning, then it should be a good day. Great hospitality all around in the Hall's household. As for the team, well, no surprises apart from potentially Wolfenden, but I can see why he may have gone for Keogh. This is a sort of game where I think physicality may be needed. Joe Ironside's a big lad, and I think they might be quite direct, so I've got no issues with that at all. Everyone else in the team, though, is standard. I don't think we expected any other changes. That's pretty much, for me, the strongest 11, bar Wolfie at the back.
Okay, my friend, prediction. What do you reckon? Can Town not go 2-0 up and then equalise 2-2 for Cambridge? What do you reckon, him?
Well, in my original prediction, I said 4-0. So I probably have to stick with that, although it might be a bit tight. I think it'll be a comfortable win for Town today, though. I think they could put a few here, 3 or 4. I'll say 3-0, but I'm keeping my 4-0 in the chat because if it does come off, then not many people have said that.
They haven't at all. Well, let's get right into it, and everybody, let's see how we get on. Okay then, Town have drawn 1-1 here against Cambridge, 1-0 down, then Philly Ladapo, his boy, got the equaliser. But a frustrating afternoon, boys. Cheers, Mark. I'm here with Peachy, Mark Beck, and good old Ben Diath. I'm just going to let them have a little chinwag together because I think that's just the best way forward. So
who's holding? Shall I hold
you
it?
hold it and take control.
You take the mic.
Well, I mean, we all had similar perspective of the game, so I'll go to Ben Diath. What do you think of that, mate?
Just the overriding feeling is disappointment. A few boos at the end, which I understand. My personal opinion is that doesn't help us when we're trying to push for automatic promotion for us this season, but we didn't deserve anything more than a draw. Cambridge, we know what they're going to offer, and they were very, very good today. Like I've got lots of friends who are Cambridge fans, and for me this is like our biggest game in the season. But you've got to come here and win. You know, if you want to get automatic promotion, you want to catch Plymouth, you want to catch Sheffield Wednesday, you've got to come here and win. We haven't done that today, and we didn't deserve anything. I thought there were too many players that were below the standard that we've set. I mean, not even below it, like really below. Don't like picking out names, but unfortunately our captain today, he's my favourite player, name on the back of the shirt, etc. But he sort of summed up the whole team, I think. Just a bit lethargic, the ball wasn't being moved quick enough, we sloppy in possession. Like the changes at half-time, obviously real impetus, get the goal. I think everybody around us was then like, you've got to go and get the second now, we've got to get the second now, and the game just petered out. I mean, just really, really disappointed, Mark.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, Town fans, very disappointed.
Yeah, and I think we all sort of sat there. We all had a similar perspective of the game, and I think when they gave that penalty in the first half, we all thought this is game over, and I think we all got a lot to thank for Christian Walton. But Peachy, what do you think of that, mate?
Oh, it's just bloody frustrating, isn't it? It's like, if we want automatics, there's no respect, we can't draw these games, but we have drawn them, so fair play to Cambridge, they defended well, but we played in their hands a lot of the time, and it's very frustrating. I think we played well for 10 minutes in that game when we equalised, and we had a bit of impetus, Hurst had a good chance and Broadhead could have scored, but I must admit, I must admit, I looked at the message at half time. People saying Walton should do better for the goal. No, it's a pot shot from out the area. It's a good finish. We've got to thank Christian Walton because at 2-0 we're not getting back in this game and we've lost it. We've got a draw today. Is it good enough? In my opinion, no, it's not. But today's not going to define our season, is it? It's other games where we've thrown it away. So all we can do is keep going, try and win. But I'm just a bit disappointed. But hey, at least we didn't lose. That's the main thing, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we deserved any more than a point today. I think it's probably one of our worst away performances. I've done many this season. I think it's probably one of our worst away performances of the season. And you just think,
we could see this one instead of Oxford.
Yeah.
We could actually see this one, couldn't we?
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. But you think the games aren't won and lost. There's a lot of talk about the games against Plymouth and Sheffield Wednesday. You've got to come to games like Cambridge and pick up results. And today, I don't think, like the boys have said, we haven't picked up. The first half was poor for us.
I know we're an Ipswich Town podcast, but Cambridge were very good.
Yeah.
So they played at their absolute optimum, I think, and we played probably 70%, and that's generous.
Yeah, we didn't deserve 3 points today. And like I say, you have to hand it Cambridge. Like, I think what hinders, we were so slow in possession, like we normally are. And like, when Cambridge got back in their shape, and to be fair, they defended really well. So I know we're a Town podcast, but like we were poor, and we played in Cambridge hands. And fair play to Cambridge, they deserved a point, and like we didn't deserve to win, not at all. We were not good enough, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let's go for a beer. Let's just go for a beer. Beer and
It's a bit of naivety. Like, you look at Cambridge, they've come in and, you know, Michael Morrison, Ryan Bennett come in. You know how they're going to set up slightly more defensively. And there you go. You know, I think we just didn't do enough to test that back line. And, you know, that's what you expect from an Ipswich Town team. We should go there and at least dominate possessions. And even if you don't come away with the win, at least look like you're going to win the game. And I don't think we did.
Yeah, don't sound too negative, but like how many chances did we really have? Clear-cut chances. We had the goal, and we had like where the keeper was it? Again, like was it Broad? I can't remember. It was just bundling in trying to get the goal, but we didn't really pepper the goal and like really go for it. It was just very flat and disappointing.
Sorry, those that weren't here, it wasn't any better here than it was on the TV or the stream or those that were at Portman Road. Well done, fair play. Fan base is excellent. We were poor.
Yeah, the fan
Enjoy your
base.
Saturday night.
The fan base isn't worth 3 points, unfortunately. So yeah, disappointing going into Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know how that game finished, but I think they might have beat Plymouth. Yeah, there you go. So 2-0 was it? There you go. Yeah, so there you go. Sets it all up. So big test coming at Portman Road, and we'll have to see how we go from there. But yeah, disappointing scenes, and yeah, we'll see what other people think.
Coming up next, I'm joined by good old Bloomers and Liam from Crew. Boys, thoughts on that one? Start with you, Bloomers.
Just weird. I've been thinking about this for 10 minutes behind the camera, thinking about what to say, and now I've gone blank. Someone in front of me tried to convince us after the game that we played well. We didn't play well, in my opinion. Everyone's got their own opinion. We didn't play well. We really did not play well. And they tried to counter that with the fact that, oh, well, you know, this is one of Cambridge's biggest games. They're going to really, you know, be up for it. To which I said, okay, well, what about the 10 games before us where Cambridge didn't beat that team? Well, they had, one win in 11 coming in. You know, if we played well, why didn't we win? If we played well, why have we just dropped points again against a team second from bottom? If we played well, why have we dropped points against a team probably not going to be challenging for anything anywhere near where we are, and yet the teams above us have gained points on us? I know they played each other, but we're still away from the top of the league because Sheffield Wednesday won, and at the end of the day, that should be our goal. So how can you say we played well? We didn't play well. We didn't play well at all. Go on, Liam, have your 2 cents, and I'll come back again.
You predicted a 3-0, 4-0 win before the game. I was confident for a win today as well, but just wasn't the afternoon at Town. Just didn't turn up.
It was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Bit surreal being in the home end, actually. Me and James, another member of the KOA.
Should people be allowed? Is that that's probably not allowed.
It's
I'll
fine.
cut this. Do I cut this bit
We've
out?
got a lifetime ban from Cambridge now because of what you've just done.
Yeah.
I don't want to come back.
I'll cut this bit
Well,
out.
you might not want to come back, but we're going to be coming back. So.
We'll come back. Coming back, we just got interrupted, but Liam, you said it was dreadful, and it was dreadful.
Yeah, well, I mean, first 20 minutes, we dominated without doing anything. Typical Town. Then we conceded a really, really poor goal. And then for 15 minutes up till half-time, defence went mush. It was like every ball that went forward, suddenly the defenders were allowing it to bounce, looked like they were getting bullied. Conceded a really poor penalty. Walton, big save. And I said at half-time, I said, hopefully, if we can do something in the second half, that save will not be in vain. And in the end of it, it has been in vain, because although we've got a point, it's not enough. Really good goal. Carl Edwards was brilliant to start with. But 10, 15 minutes, that was all that we played today. After that, last 20 minutes, they brought out the gamesmanship. It's a bit bitty, really bitty, and we didn't do anything, really. To be honest, we were lucky we didn't lose, because they looked more dangerous going forward than we did.
Discourse disallowed because of offside. Yeah.
They looked far more dangerous than we did going forward in the end.
That's what makes me angry. You touched on it, which is why I've just jumped in, Liam. Playing into their hands in the last 15-20 minutes. It just smacks of naivety. And we've got a rookie manager, which is probably why we are a naive team, because at the end of the day, it's just simple things that you've got to understand, where you're going to break up the play yourselves by giving away fouls that, okay, maybe they're not fouls, but they're always going to be given because of how the game's been refereed, and because you're an away team, and it's just shooting yourselves in the foot time after time after time. How can you expect to launch a barrage on the opposition goal when you break up the play every 5 minutes, or every 90 seconds by just doing stupid fouls? And whether they're fouls or not is immaterial because the referee thinks they are, and that's the end of the line, really. So that winds me up. I don't know what you think. It's just it's one of those things where one of those things where like, okay, you know, Schumacher and Moore for Plymouth and Sheffield Wednesday are both young managers, but they've both got a bit. Maybe Schumacher doesn't have a bit more experience than McKenna, but at the end of the day, it doesn't seem to be happening with them. But for us, we're just so naive, and it's just so frustrating. I've got one more point, and then that'll be it. So Liam, please do more better than me.
Well, kind of on that point, the Ladapo foul right in the corner in stoppage time. Yeah. I mean, that is naive as anything. I mean, even if it's just a tiny little tug of the shirt, the guy's gone down, he's bought the free kick. Why make the challenge? But the thing that frustrates me most is the last 20 minutes of games when we play these sort of teams and they start bringing out the dark arts. We allow it to affect us because we haven't gone out and won the game earlier and dominated it, and we leave ourselves open to this all the time. So we can complain about, oh, that wasn't a free kick and it's slowing down the game, but because it was 1-1, they start bringing it in, it takes away our momentum, and we basically then it's just drifts at the end of the game, and to be honest, I think a point was probably a fair result. And
he's spot on, by the way. You're spot on, by the way. You are spot on, by the way. Final point. When are we going to have the Christian Walton discussion? Now, I know that the goal probably, it would be very harsh to say that he's at fault for it, but he also can cover himself in glory in it. And Claggy's got to be sitting on the bench thinking, I must be effing near to breaking through here. Thank you. Cheers. This is what happens when you interview me 30 minutes after the game rather than 3 minutes. You must be thinking I'm close here, because even if it isn't his fault, the 6, 7, 8 things that have happened in the last 6, 7, 8 games doesn't let him get away with it. If it's a random thing out of the blue, you kind of think, oh, whatever. But because of all the things that have happened recently, and I haven't got a name, and people go, oh, why aren't you naming these things? I don't have to. You see it with your own eyes. You know, Oxford, last goal, off the top of my head, I don't care if there was effing, nearly did it again, 3 inches worth of fog. Like, there is a discussion to be had here, and it's getting there. It might be suicidal for a rookie manager to drop his #1 goalkeeper for a reserve in the last 15 games of the season when you're going for promotion. But it must be getting to the point where you start having the discussion properly. Whether we have it or they have it is immaterial again, but we can have it. We're not the ones making the decision. Liam, what do you reckon?
I don't think there was anything today to suggest that Walton should be dropped. I mean, he has saved the penalty, and I don't think he's done anything wrong today. But I did say, when he went down with that injury, when the player went in to dive for the ball at the same time, I did say that I thought, well, actually, if he is injured, I don't feel as nervous if Hladky had to come on after the performance he put in against Burnley. Whereas, obviously, earlier in the season, if obviously Walton gets injured, then we're all going, oh, we might be. But if Hladky gets his chance, then I'm sure he will. But I'm still behind Walton at the moment.
Remember, Claggy only got 6, 7, well, maybe a bit more than 6, 7. He didn't get very many games at the start of last season to take his claim, and then he immediately got shipped out when we signed Walton on loan. Maybe it's time to explore it again. I'm just saying.
Better points, boys. Thanks for joining me. Yeah.